Castle Mane-ia. So based on this picture, this could be something. Looks like Fluttershy is being attacked or something. Though isn't that the color of Twilight's magic? So I don't know. So at the end of that two-part thing, there was that like locked box. So that could be like a main plot point. That's like an overarching goal in this season that they're working towards to like figure out what's in this box. So this has potential to be something other than just a bunch of stupid, forced lessons with nothing, nothing of substance. Because I mean, you can't really teach new lessons. I mean, pretty much every lesson you can teach has already been taught 100 times. Of course, you can try to take a different perspective to something like Rick and Morty or BoJack Horseman, where you have a more interesting perspective on something like the meaning of life or depression or whatever. But what you can also do is do something like what Gravity Falls and Star does. Some kind of weird adventure with these interesting characters, and then they learn the basic lesson, but it's still, they still have the interesting thing that's happening based on this weird world. And so far, pretty much every episode of this show, except for like the two-part things, have just been just the lesson. Like, oh, I have 5 friends I want to give tickets to, but I only have 2 tickets. What do I do? Like, oh, I told my friends I don't like reading, but now I like reading, and now I don't want to tell my friends that I like the book. What do I do? It's just, that's what the majority of these episodes are. It's just those really basic lessons. But so it's like, okay, could this be something now that there's some sense of a story? I don't know. And this will be, I guess, like the first like true test. Like, is this actually gonna go somewhere? Because so far those first 2 episodes were just pretty boring. The first one was like just set up for the second one, and it wasn't very interesting. Kind of like how they split like the last movie in a series into 2 parts. Like they split the last Harry Potter book into 2 movies. Same thing with Hunger Games, even though they probably didn't need to if they just did better storytelling. But then the second episode was just so bad it was funny. Like the only thing I really remember from that was some of Discord's dumb jokes that worked because Discord's actually kind of a funny character. And then, what was it? Then Celestia like almost died, or it looked like she died, and then I just started laughing because it's like, it just looked so funny to me. It was so dumb. I don't know. And honestly, I have no idea what's gonna happen with this episode though. I mean, like, maybe they just run around the castle? I don't know. Looking for maybe they look for keys inside the castle. That could be it. I don't know. Gonna start watching though. Unfortunately for me. Okay, so she's pissed off. Okay, so they actually are continuing the chest thing. Now they're gonna explore this castle thing. I guess these ruins look a little more interesting. I swear this is just gonna be her reading books and nothing else. I'm like, okay, there's some interest here. Let's go into this weird place with all these ancient books and the spiders and creepy shit. Wait, what? Is this actually gonna be an A and a B plot? Yeah, this actually seems like it's an A and a B plot. Like, you'll have Twilight and the weird ruins, and then you have these idiots trying to figure out what they're gonna do. Oh, they're gonna run into the forest, and then that's how they're gonna find Twilight. And now we got these idiots. What, some dumb thing for her fashion? That's why they're here. So they're all gonna end up in the castle, but for 3 different reasons. I don't know, still feels kind of slow. Definitely way better than a lot of the other ones, though, because, like, things are actually happening. Oh, what? What's this thing? There's gonna be an actual threat? Oh. He's scared of being here. There's actually kind of 3 plots going on. Don't really have much to say. I mean, it's way more interesting of like a plot. Well, because there actually is a plot here. I mean, the jokes haven't been particularly funny. Like, okay, she just got trapped in behind the wall. And it's just Fluttershy. Oh, but they're not gonna realize. They're gonna think it's the ghost thing.
Utmost care is with
Okay, it's kind of funny, I guess. It's like, I'm not entertained, but I'm also not mad or bored. And there's some details on the walls with paintings, and then, what is that Pinkie Pie behind the painting, moving her eye around? She's not actually at the school. It's definitely an interesting design of a place. Yeah, there's actually things happening in this episode instead of just, oh, here's this problem I have. What do I do? Now let's do the same scene 20 times. But you kind of have, I guess there's like a lesson being taught between Rainbow and Applejack. I guess you could kind of say the same thing with Rarity and Fluttershy. And then there's like the plot about how this castle's gonna have some important book. What? Oh. Okay. That's Rarity being trapped in there. I really haven't said much. It's like, but there's interesting things happening, and there's an actual story going on. Like, it's keeping my attention pretty easily. Whereas a lot of the other episodes, I was about ready to yawn. Also, I guarantee this mysterious figure is Pinkie Pie. Guarantee it. And there's gonna be some weird excuse for her to not have been at the school.
Scaredy dragon.
Oh wow, they said Scaredy Dragon and not Scaredy Pony. Whatever. Oh no, she got rotated around. Wait, what is that? The Ender? It looked like the Ender Dragon from Minecraft. I don't know why I'm getting a lot of like Scooby-Doo vibes from like the look of the castle, like the colors and the way the details look. I'm not sure why though. Like there really isn't much to say. It's just kind of a bunch of scenes of them being in the castle. It's not boring, but it's not particularly interesting. It's just fine. They all just get back into each other, and of course they touch butts because butts show. What, she thinks Angel just died? Okay, they're all scared. I get it. That went on for a little while. It's fucking Pinkie Pie. That's who it is. She's just gonna turn around and be like, oh, hi guys, what are you all doing here? Ha ha ha, look at me, I'm silly. Ugh, whatever. I'll just get it over with. Okay, they're approaching her. She's gonna take off her hood. Got the intense music building up to this dramatic reveal, and of course, there it is. Wow, I'm not surprised at all. Saw that coming from, I think like the first time they showed the organ, I knew it was going to be Pinkie Pie. It was so obvious. And there's the overwinded dumbass explanation. Okay, so there's the whole bunch of lessons each character's learned. And there's the lesson. Just don't let your imagination get the best of you. Are they gonna keep a journal and then that's gonna become the new letter that they're just gonna write in the journal? Yep. Oh, come on. They had the perfect out to just stop doing the forced exposition, but they're just throwing it back in there. Oh, whatever. Oh, is there actually gonna be like a mysterious shadow? Or is this just another joke? Alright, okay, that's ambiguous. It could be an actual looming thing that's happening. Okay, this kind of was something. Basically, there's this old castle, or well, the castle where they got what do they call those, magic rocks or whatever. They go back there, and then, they go there in like different groups for different reasons. And then it's like, there's a bunch of scary shit that happens, and then they just kind of explore this castle for their different reasons. And it's like, Twilight was there because Celestia said there were some books there that would be helpful for figuring out the locked box. So they bring that back up. Applejack and Rainbow are fighting about who's more brave or whatever. So then they go to the castle because it's supposed to be scary, and then that's gonna decide who's more brave. Then there's Fluttershy and Rarity. I don't know why they go together. I forget why. Rarity wants to get the tapestries and restore them, and then Fluttershy's just there, but she loses her bunny, and then she's trying to look for it. Things actually happen though in this episode. There's like 3 different intersecting plots, so the way of doing the storytelling with each of the plots kind of intersecting is, somewhat interesting. It breaks up the monotony of just like if you just had an episode of what's her face, of Twilight just being like, oh, look at me, I'm reading books, this book is interesting, oh, but this book's interesting. Like this was in season 1, that's what they would have done. So yeah, there's that. So it felt, somewhat fast-paced. There was still some parts that felt pretty boring. I wasn't particularly engaged, but like I wasn't bored or angry at any point. There was a really obvious reveal. So basically there's this like shadowy figure that's roaming around the castle, and then there's this mysterious figure in a cloak playing the organ. Then it's Pinkie Pie because she's like, oh, I'm gonna go do this thing at the school with a bell or whatever. But then it's so obvious that she's gonna be the one playing the organ. So I don't know. And it seemed like that was supposed to be a big like, oh, look at this, but you didn't see this coming. But it was more like a Scooby-Doo reveal, but more obvious. Where it's like, oh, let's see who this person really is. Pinkie Pie? What? No way. So there's like, whatever. But yeah, things happened. It still kind of had a lot of its typical, like, things the characters do, I guess. But instead of it just being the same scene over and over again, it was like they're going through different points in the castle, and then there's a continuous story of different events that happen, and the different plots intersect and stuff like that. The ending kind of pissed me off, because with the ending of season 3, there's like the perfect opportunity to just stop doing this dumb shit where they spell out the lesson with exposition, because it's just such a lazy way of doing that. But then they're like, oh hey, we should keep a diary, and then we can put all our lessons in there, and so then they're doing the exposition again. It's just so lazy. And they just whatever. Yeah, if the episodes are consistently like this, like, okay, this could improve over time and do something interesting. I give this one 5 out of 10. I mean, not particularly good or bad, just kind of whatever. Like, there was nothing about this that was like really bad, but there was also nothing that was really good. It was just whatever. It's like plain bread. There's nothing interesting about it, but it's also not like it's painful to eat, It's just really whatever.